I'm good.
Hmm. So, so you wanted to go through the entire Selenium, or do you have any specific doubts? How is that?
Yeah, I'm actually, entire would be great.
You wanted to go over the complete Selenium again?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So, coming to introduction with the basics, why we use Selenium and all. First of all, we have this testing in which we write test cases and we start executing them. Okay, so these test cases are executed repeatedly every day. The same test case will be executed again and again. So whenever there is a bug fix and the issues are all fixed, or whenever there is some new additional feature added to this whatever product you are testing, if some additional feature is added, okay, so we will have to start our testing from the beginning again. But doing the same thing every day is a tedious task, boring to the person, as well as a waste of time. So, if it is a well established task, why don't some tool do it for us, and then we concentrate on something where we need some intellectuality, right? So Selenium is some tool which helps us do these routine established tasks. We cannot do something which is not established, okay, something which has a procedure, something which is fixed and it is not going to change. Such a thing is usually automated. Okay, in automation,
Much.
in sorry.
Uh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so in automation, there are various tools like QTP, RFT, ScopeUI, Selenium, lot of them. We use Selenium mainly because it is a freeware, no payment required, and then it is having lot of support. Many people use it, hence we get lot of support online. If you have some doubt, you just query your problem in Google and you are 99.9% sure that you can get a solution. If it is QTP or RFT, you have to call IBM or HP and say, hey, I have a problem, can you help me resolve it? Okay, and that is going to take some time. So Selenium support over Google is easily available. Yeah, so for such benefits, we prefer Selenium. For running Selenium, we can use any browser, like mostly we use Firefox, IE, Google Chrome, Safari. We can use any browser if we can get its proper drivers. Okay,
I see.
so
Okay.
Selenium cannot automate Windows based, I mean non browser stuff. It can only automate browser based stuff. Okay, so we use it over browsers. So in browsers, whatever actions we do can be done with the help of Selenium. What actions do we do usually? We open the browser, we open some kind of URL, okay, then we enter text into some kind of boxes, we click buttons, we select radio buttons, I mean the round label buttons, then we select some check boxes, and then we validate text. Whatever is being displayed, we'll validate that it is displayed correctly. Then we will validate if the color of the button is displayed correctly. Okay. And uh, what else do we do? We see images, we have links which we click on and open further other pages. We select something from drop down. So these are the major operations that we do in Selenium, right?
I see.
So all these operations can be automated using Selenium. So once we make a list of operations and look at what Selenium has got in hand for us, okay, so for writing up something in a box, we have something called send keys, SENDKEYS, send keys. And depending on the language you choose, the send keys thingy varies. Okay, for now we are going with Java, so it is send keys.
I see.
And then for clicking on a button or checkbox, anything that we click with the mouse, the left click of the mouse, in Selenium it is called as click. For text it is send keys. Okay. Then when we have drop down, we click on the drop down and we click on the option. Such an operation is called select. Select by visible text or select by index. Index as in number of element. Fourth one, fifth one, sixth option, seventh option. We keep telling like that, right? So that is called index. So select by index or select by visible text or select by value. Value is something hidden in HTML code. Okay, so we select from a drop down. We click on a button. We send keys to some boxes. We click on checkboxes. We click on radio buttons. And we click on link. If there is any link, we click on it. So the same click operation applies here as well. Okay, then,
Okay.
yeah. Then if you want to read some text which is written in the website, then you have an operation called text. Okay, so then how do you tell Selenium that you need text of so and so line? How do you tell you need text of so and so heading? How do you tell it you need text of so and so paragraph or text of so and so checkbox? For you to tell Selenium that you need some this thing, you need an identifier, right? Uh, for example, you tell the person in yellow, the person wearing yellow shirt, you want to find out his name. You want to read the text that is written on his t-shirt, the person wearing the gray t-shirt with the curly hair. I want to read the quotation on his t-shirt. So some sort of identification you need to have to distinguish one from the other and to pinpoint to the required object correctly. Right. So in order to identify whatever you need exactly, whether it is image or link or checkbox or whatever option it is, you need something called locators. Okay. So these are the examples of locators: ID, class name, name, link text, and XPath. Okay, these are the most CSS selector. These are the most commonly used identifiers. They are called as locators. I mean, they help you locate whatever you want on the web page, on the browser. Right. So something that helps you locate desired object is called locator. So to help you identify the locators, We have these ID, class name, name, link text, XPath, CSS selector. Okay.
I
So,
see.
to get XPath, we installed Firepath and Firebug in Firefox. Um, yeah. So when we installed Firepath and Firebug, this is how it came out. You see
Okay.
my screen, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I can see.
Yeah. So when you want XPath of this thing called Qualcomm, right click, inspect in Firepath. And this is the XPath you get. You can simply take this XPath or you can modify it. If you are very good at XPath, you can customize your own XPaths. Or else you can just accept this XPath as it is. But there is a risk that the XPath might change. Whatever XPath is obtained from the Firepath might change sometimes. Sometimes it will be fine, sometimes it is going to change. But for now, we can take as it is. Okay, this is the XPath. Then, what else do we have? ID. Okay. If you look at the HTML, so there are a lot of things called class, and then yeah, and here if you look, there is something called as name. There is one attribute called as name. So we can use that name. We can use the class name at the rate class. So if you look, this has class ng scope, or and then something like this has some class like Firebug reset styles. Okay,
I see.
so there will be a lot of classes like this class nav item. You can use such class to identify name, link text. Okay, link text means this one Qualcomm has a link. Okay, when I hover my mouse turns into a hand symbol. So it is called as a link. Okay, so Qualcomm is the link text. Wherever the link might redirect, the final URL might be different. Okay, but the text which is shown up for the given link is called as link text. So the link text in this case is Qualcomm. So you can use the link text to identify the given um, web element, the HTML element. Okay, so out of all these, the best and easiest one is XPath. So you just take this, you get the XPath ready to use, right? So the best one is XPath. You just installed Firebug and Firepath in Firefox and you got it. If you don't want to install Firebug or Firepath, if you want to go with Chrome, in Chrome, right click on the element, click on inspect. You will see the HTML listed in the bottom or sidewise of the page. Once the thing is highlighted in blue, right click on that, say copy XPath. Okay, and that XPath
Okay.
would more or less be similar to the one you got in Firepath. It might be different, but still it works. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it is the same in Firepath or different in Chrome. Okay, everything works. Okay, you can get XPath from anywhere. Though these two things are different, and they might look different, but still each of them will work. Right? Yeah. So if you want CSS selector, here itself in the fire path you have an option called CSS. Okay. Just right click, inspect in fire path. Okay. It will give you the CSS selector. CSS selector or XPath you can obtain from Firepath itself. Okay. Yeah. So you just have to change the drop down over here from XPath to CSS. You would get a CSS selector as well. Most preferred being XPath, right? So these are the locators. Once we get the locators, okay, uh, you know how to open the browser, like driver equal to mm, okay. Yeah, so you remember this code, WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver or new Firefox driver or new IE driver. This part, right? So in line number 12 in the browser which we see, that's highlighted in black. That is how you start a browser. Once you start a browser like this, if it is a Chrome browser, you have to do this, line number 9. System.set property, WebDriver, Chrome driver, path. And the path comes from where you download this. Here the steps are provided to download. So once you download this and extract the Chrome driver, okay, that location you have to provide in line number 9 in the place of path to file, blah blah blah. This part you have to replace with the original path, and then you will open the browser. Once you open the browser, you want to open your required URL, I mean the browser, the website. For example, if it is learnautomation.com, you will give here http:// this is mandatory. Without this, it will not considered as website. http colon or https colon / is mandatory. Whatever website you wanna load, then you give the name of your website. Okay.
I see.
So after opening this, you will write mm, driver dot find element. Find element is something which helps you look out for whatever element you are looking for. You got the locator now, you got the XPath, right? So to
Yes.
identify given XPath, you have to do something like um, find element Java Selenium. Yeah, like this. Driver dot find element parenthesis by dot XPath parenthesis double quotes and write the XPath obtained from your Firepath over here. Okay, so the command will be like driver dot find element by XPath and the XPath in the double quotes. Okay, that will be your web element. That is the first step. With the help of locator like XPath or ID, If you're taking id, it will be by dot id over here, or else it will be by dot name, by dot class name, by dot css selector, by dot xpath. Okay, here it changes, and accordingly the same thing should be provided inside the double quotes over here. If you're taking by dot xpath, you have to give xpath inside the double quotes. If you're taking by dot class name, you have to give class name. So whatever you take, that will be your first web element, like this. So if you look at this, web element equal to, after driver dot get http colon slash slash www.google.com or any website under testing. After doing that, we will do this. We want to get the username box where you enter your username text. Okay, so you will give the XPath of that box. So by dot XPath username box, web element equal to driver dot find element by XPath, give the XPath here. Then you want to write your username or email ID into that box, text box. So you will say this element which you have taken here, element, that element, the same name as you given in line number 1, element dot send keys. Whatever username or email ID you wanna send, you have to put it inside double quotes and send it. Okay, first you have to identify the web element with the help of a locator, and then perform the required action over that. If it is a checkbox, you would have done element dot click parenthesis. That's all, nothing inside it. This is the text to be written. For checkbox, we don't write any text, so we leave it just blank parenthesis. Element dot click, that would have been. And this is like web element equal to driver dot find element by XPath. Then the same name as here, element dot send keys. Now you want to get the password field. Next, again, line number 4, you will write same syntax, web element 2 or password element equal to driver dot find element by XPath, that XPath. Okay, and then in line number 5, element dot send keys and your password, right? Does that make sense, or
Yeah.
good, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so even here in the second example that we have here, web element parent element equal to driver dot find element by class name button. This is using class name. If you want to use ID, by ID submit. So there are many like that, by dot link text, by dot partial link text, but stay with XPath in the initial days at least, because it's easier to identify. Okay, so that is about locators. Once you have locators, you will do driver dot find element by locator and give that locator value and get the element and perform the regular operations on it, whatever the operation might be, like selecting from drop down or so. If it is a drop down, the way you deal will be a bit different in a way like this. You know this driver.find element by name country. And now you know this syntax. This syntax you have to put inside a select because a drop-down is of type select, and in order to work with it you have to convert the web element to a selectable element. So select this is a standard capital S select. DRP country is any custom name that you can give, just like web element, element 1, element 2, element 3. DRP country is another custom name equal to new select parenthesis and the previous syntax driver.find element blah blah blah. In this drop down, if you want to select Antarctica, take this custom name what you have given, the name, the custom name like drop country dot select by visible text. As I have told you, to select from a drop down we have three variations: select by index, select by value, select by visible text. Visible text is something which is visible to your eye when you click on the drop down. Value is something hidden in the HTML, and index is the number in the drop down. Okay. Do we have any drop downs here? No. No. No, nothing here. Mhm. Okay, so if you look at this, this is a drop down, and if you look here, whatever text is visible to you, Volvo, Saab, Apple, Audi, they are all visible texts. Okay. In the HTML, this is Volvo, and here you have something called value, right? So in these options, you check what is value, and then you give select by value. Over here, instead of select by visible text, you will give select by value and give that value which you have seen in the HTML. Select by index is like 1, 2, 3, 4. Volvo will be 1, Saab will be 2, Opel will be 3, right? Like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the basic of Selenium. You don't have anything more in Selenium. Okay. The more
Okay.
the rest of the thing you do is either Java or TestNG. Okay. So those all things come and overlap and make it seem bigger. Okay, so this is what you do in Selenium, like click open browsers, click enter text, click on buttons and all. Okay, then
Okay.
one more thing is like um, sometimes things open in new window like this. When you click
Mm-hmm.
on this link, it has opened in new window.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to provide some details here, like there is a student, you have to provide the student's details and click on submit here. Then this pop-up will close and you will finally go back to your actual browser in the back, right? So this is called window handles. Okay, you have to handle 2 to 3 windows. Window is just this pane, this box, whichever you see in which the Google Chrome is enclosed, is called a window. So here you have two windows. One is the main window and the other one is the child window, parent window and child window. Okay. So just like every other thing, these also have locators so that the operating system should distinguish them, right? So this window has a name, the main window has a name. Each of the windows have different names. Okay. So we obtain each of the names and switch to Windows. Okay.
I see.
So this is a small pop-up. It's not a window, but it's an alert. Okay. So we handle alerts. I mean, we have to take care of alerts, right? We have to take care of pop-ups as well. Okay, those are two other concepts that we have. And then sometimes the browser takes time to load. It takes longer time for the content to be displayed correctly, right? In such case, normally we wait without any intellectuality of your brain involving. Naturally, we wait. But Selenium is just a code. It will not know to wait. It will try to do the next step, do the next step. Okay, so for that, we have to tell it to wait. Okay, wait for 10 seconds is one way of telling. Okay, wait for the page to load is the other way of telling. Okay, wait for 10 seconds, simply wait for 10 seconds without doing anything is called as implicit wait. And wait for the page to load. Wait for this web element called introduction to JUnit. This should be displayed to the user. Wait until that point of time till this is displayed. Okay. That is called explicit wait. In explicit wait, you give a specific condition over which it will wait. In implicit wait, you just give some time period over which it will wait. Okay. So we have
Okay.
different types of waits. Then you have this loops and conditional statements in Java. They are not part of Selenium. Okay, if if condition, if else, then while, do while, switch case,
If
for loop.
and if else.
Yeah, all those are part of Java. They have nothing to do with Selenium. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the same Java if else will apply when you're working with Selenium. That's why I said most of the stuff is related to Java. Only few things are extra on and over Java, which are related to the browser, the web elements, the actions you do. Those come under Selenium. Remaining everything is under Java. Okay.
I see.
Okay. So we have two websites called GURU99 and this one. Okay, just go
Two.
through them.
Okay.
Okay, we
Okay.
will connect tomorrow depending upon your understanding, right?
Okay.
Like how much you understood and all. Based on that, we will continue. If you had understood good amount, we'll go with the next topic, or else we'll go over these topics again, right? But
Okay.
yeah, just don't waste your time as well. Try to go through these things, and if not practice, at least try to go through them theoretically. Read through them once, twice, thrice. The very first time it sounds Greek and Latin, but second time and third time you will be able to figure out what I'm speaking and what is written over there. you'll be able to correlate. Okay?
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So we'll meet tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. We'll meet tomorrow.
All right then. Bye.
Uh, uh, have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.